In Nigeria, no ambulance. No ambulance. Look at it. Where people are born. No emergency van is working in Nigeria. No emergency van. No emergency van is working. More people are still calling inside. Everybody is inside.
Yes, indeed. Very good afternoon to you all. Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, my avid viewers. You're all welcome to another spectacular stream, courtesy of your man, Frank Bello, terrible human being, serpent, someone who is poisonous to the powers that be. Yes, first and foremost, let me salute all my Muslim brothers and sisters. for this great Ileya festival, Eid. Yes, I hope you guys are having a good time. I know some of you, some of my friends, I know they must have been to Romford. In other words, Upminster, the abattoir, to get their rams slaughtered for them live. I hope Wale Amodemaja is watching this. Champion. Baraka de Sala to each and every one of you. Odun Ayabo. Odun no kuni bubu ani ara agbára Ọlọ́run. Thank you. Yes, I'm still going to acknowledge each and every one of you one by one, like I always do. I've seen a couple of you guys there. It is Tuesday, the day Salah is being celebrated across the whole world, depending on the individual geographic time zones where you are. But in London and in Lagos and most of the Islamic African countries, it's been celebrated today. Congratulations. It is Tuesday, the 20th day, the 20 days into the month of July, the 7th month, 2021. It is exactly 17:07 by the clock in front of my console. In other words, 7 minutes past 5 o'clock London time. You're welcome to the stream. I'm pretty sure you're going to have a delightful and a cracky time. Welcome. And thank you. We're going straight into episode 82 of The Bleeding Edge. Yeah, I know a handful of you guys are out there. I've just peeked into my other gadgets. I've got 5 gadgets that I'm currently monitoring in front of me. A handful of you guys are watching the stream from YouTube. If you want to share it from YouTube or from Facebook, from Liberty Media Communications or HALLO magazine, e-magazine, or you're watching it from my personal profile, please share it. It's going to be cracky. Yes. Now, I got a call from someone, and someone actually challenged me in the last stream in episode 81. That person was from the United States, and he was watching the stream on YouTube. Mind you, I am streaming simultaneously onto the 3 platforms: my personal profile, my personal page, Liberty Media Communications, HALLO magazine, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So it is being streamed simultaneously into all those platforms together. Thank you all. Yes, you want to call? That is the number there. Yes. If you like to make your contribution, you want your voice heard, the number is there permanently. You can ring in, but I'll probably leave you guys to let me just flow the way I want to flow. James Coker. US don't care. I missed my Rams and friends. Yes, they don't care in the United States. You're right. Narada Franklin, you said your sincere and humble greetings. Thank you. you're one of my avid, just like James Coker. Helen Ashinobi DK, you're welcome to the stream. I accepted your friendship because I know who you are. I hardly accept friendship from people, but sometimes the people I accept friendships from, I have to know them practically. You've been a gem and a wonderful person. John Utuk, Terry Omo Alade, Esther Adewetuga, thank you. I know. I saw you when you came in. Jojo. I'm seeing that name. You're probably one of the new additions on YouTube. Share it. Telling you constantly now. See, names ring bells with me. Yes, Folake Alawiye, my regular aunt, as well as Umadike Eberichuku. I know everyone. Yusuf Adekunle, yes, I've seen you time after time. True. Yes, happy Eid, everyone. It is particularly hot. The other light on top of me will probably be flashing like this very soon, so I probably will have to put in the socket to power it up. Jojo. Yeah, he said, you are a very smart and intelligent man. You really know everyone. I do. Helen Obafemi, good evening. Barika de Salah. Yeah. Thank you for that, Helen Obafemi. I'm not too sure if I'm going to go into, because what I'll be looking at, I'll be showing you some slides and some images, and some of them in video clips. I'm not too sure if I'll touch on Tolulope Aratile, who was the very first casualty of the state-sponsored assassination in that hopeless, stupid, nasty piece of a contraption you lot called Nigeria. Oh yes, yeah. I think I have to keep that in my memory now, in my brain. Mazi, yeah, Chukwudozie, yeah, you are one of my regular. I know. That Jojo is new. I think you corrected me the other time, yes. Yes, Bukola Odufadeni Olusoya. Bukola Odufadeni is asking me some very tough question here. If it is true that Sunday Igboho, see, I told you that that light will start flashing now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to power in the cable. I told you, because I was watching the now this picture, maybe some of you can actually decode what is inside. Yes, I just made this. There's a spiritual connection to that picture you're watching up, you're seeing in front of your screen as an interlude, as I fix my overhead illumination. Yeah, see, there's a spiritual is very that was very spiritual to me. All right, let's go there. See, the last time Yes, I think you were asking a question, if Sunday Igboho is on his way to the UK. I won't be too sure if it is the UK or if it is Germany. But from what I gathered, there's been a lot of, the hopeless and ruthless Fulani government, their mission was to capture him alive. Something that we're still going to touch into that area, but it could either be any of the countries in Europe. I won't be able to tell, because the whole world basically is aware that Igboho's life is under threat by the Fulani government. The whole world is aware. America is aware. UK is aware. And whichever of the countries that whether he's got a passport or not, it does not matter. I made it known to people that it's not absolutely necessary for somebody like him to hold a passport to travel out. He can just arrive at the port of entry and declare asylum. The whole world is aware. And see, Nigeria, most of the UN convention, Nigeria was a signatory to many of them. But unfortunately, I probably should have been the first guinea pig under Abakari after Umaru Diko. We're going to go there very soon. Yes, I won't be able to tell right now, Bukola. But the Fulani government tried to abduct him, from what I gathered from Benin Republic. But the Benin Republic, knowing fully well that they've got proper democracy and they uphold the rule of law, the French colony, with a large concentration of Yoruba people in their part, refused Igboho to be abducted from their soil. See, whether that is going to create a fracas between the Benin Republic and the Fulani government, I'd love to see this game played. A lot will be unfolded between Benin Republic and Nigeria very soon. Are we going to see a tough, difficult diplomatic row? Are we going to witness a situation whereby the Benin Republic ambassador to Nigeria will be expelled, and Benin Republic will expel the Nigerian ambassador in Cotonou too? I'm waiting to see. That game will be extremely interesting to me. Go and mark my word. Because they refused Igboho to be kidnapped. I won't use extradited to Abuja, but kidnapped. The way Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, and the Kenyans refused the Nigerian government to deport Nnamdi Kanu straight from Kenya to Abuja. But rather, the kidnapper, the man who masterminded the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, this guy called Vaclav Sabo. That's his name. Václav Sabor, a Czech Republic citizen, a Czechoslovakian, kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and they took him to Prague in a private plane. So they thought they could do the same thing with Sunday Igboho, but it's not possible. I'm looking forward to the diplomatic tussle that will ensue between a well-organized, civilized democracy, Republic of Benin, French colony, with a large concentration of the Yoruba people. I wait to see that. It will be very interesting. The next few couple of days, go and mark my word. Helen Obafemi said Igboho has landed in Germany. We're going to confirm. Whichever country he landed, they will give him the full protection. I know that for a fact. Yeah. Bukolo Dufadeni Olusoya, he said, at least he was not taken back to Nigeria, God forbid. Are we going to see a situation whereby Nigeria is going to flex their muscle with the German authority? And if they do, what are the consequences between the Fulani government and the European Union, especially Germany? It's going to be interesting. Just because of Sunday Igboho. Are we going to see a situation whereby Britain is going to come into the scene too, knowing fully well that Britain is no longer in European Union? Yeah, you have been very active today, Bukolo Dufadeni Olusoya. You are watching the stream from the west coast of the United States in California. You said, yes, you are right about that. He doesn't need a passport to go anywhere. Yeah, he will be safe. Yeah, the German government will keep an eye 24 hours. The Nigerian government will not even know where German government will keep him anyway. What I hope to see is the fracas that will ensue between the German authority, Benin Republic, and the Nigerian government. The Germans, they've got the say when it comes to the economy of the world. Because talk of engineering, the Germans are number one. Osadio Barren August Paul. Thank you. Yes, guys. Let's go back. Let's go into the stream right away. You want to share it now, because the last time somebody who complained that there was no number to call on the stream complained bitterly, and there you can actually see the number. The number is there now. But I am pretty sure you'll let me flow the way I want to flow. Now, I'm going to start this because I've got a couple of pictures to show you. Watch this. Question mark. Question mark. Strange. Yes, I want to get you guys cracking with that. Yes, the question mark. That question mark is very important because I'm looking at something like this. See, I'm looking at images like this. Global Terrorism Index 2020. We're going to go there. I want you to pin that down. Yeah, we're going to go there. And we're going to go into this too. It's coming up in front of your screen. Yes. The world's 10 least livable cities. We're going to go in that too. Now, let me see this particular one. The last time I showed you this. Not the last time. I think this was early this year. I showed this to you. The three groups vying for Nigeria's soul 2023. Not many people were able to see this. I swear. The three groups. In the middle, in that color that you probably will see as blue, but in the printing and publishing industry, it is solid cyan. And in the middle, as number one, the agitators groups. The groups agitating for cessation, who are fed up with the nasty piece of contraption called Nigeria, are vying for the soul of their individual geographical territories. This is then followed by the restructure group. The restructure group wants the country to be restructured back to the way it was when the British created it. Western region, Eastern region, Northern region, and then the only region that was constitutionally created, the Midwest. So those are the groups. They want to keep Nigeria, but they want each of the regions to have greater autonomy over themselves the way it was before Gowon and Agu Nronsi destroyed everything in their hopeless bloody coup. And then number three, the 2023 election group. I analyzed this for you early this year. Not many people were here to gather it, and I spelled the problems, these current problems that we're having to go through, because those groups that are in the agitation are the wrong ones. The people who those that suddenly became media people and spokespeople, who paraded themselves as the agitators media group, they are unprofessional, and they are the most horrible people that truncated the agitation. And I mean it, because they know nothing. They know nothing that there are some intellectual and well-connected Nigerians that are secretly working with documents that cannot be provided out into the public domain. This group, because they are novice, they know nothing, they never realized the fact that some Nigerian think tank were secretly working behind closed doors, powerful ones, that when they present the argument subsequently, the world will listen. And I continue to say to people at the time that the negotiation for our independence by our forefathers was not fought with a pint of human blood in Nigeria, and there was no head-on confrontation by our forefathers who negotiated us out of the British hands into independence. It was papers, debates, and presentations. Like I always say, I don't really believe in head-on confrontation or to carry dagger or gun. I still believe in what my father believed, to which I was rudimentarily taught since childhood. The pen is mightier than the sword. And those think tanks such as Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, General Alani Akinrinade, Professor Salako, Dr. Oni, what all these people were doing behind closed doors. All your non-entities who paraded themselves as media agitators don't know anything about that because they don't have access to these people. And you never see them. Perhaps you've seen some of you who are very conversant with Agba Oniton ni Ile Oodua with Erilutuashi must have been in contact with Professor Salako and Chief Dr. Oni, one of the top NHS surgeon, orthopedic surgeon. There are papers they've put together, brilliant papers. But then many thought, oh, it's got to be the way of violence. And that I totally disagree, and I dissociated myself. And that was why I came up with that. See? Okay, it's really going to get nasty. Because what I want to do now, I want to do this, and I want to bring in this one before I go into the next one. Now, let's listen to this man. This is very important. Okay? Listen to this.
So, this is my quote, and I repeat. Poverty is not the absence of natural resources, financial resources, or human resources. It is the absence of leadership.
Poverty.
I'll begin by saying that when greed...
Poverty, did you hear that? Let me repeat that for you. Listen to this very well. That's why I said I'm going to crack open your ribs today. Listen.
So, this is my quote, and I repeat. Poverty is not the absence of natural resources, financial resources, or human resources. It is the absence of leadership.
Absence of leadership.
I'll begin by saying that when greed,
tribalism,
ethnocracy,
Yeah.
and nepotism
Yeah.
encapsulate a group of people.
Now look at your Nigeria. Look at Nigeria. Let's start all over again. See? Did you get that? That's why I said you have to, please lend me your ears. Listen to this once again.
Oh, this is my quote, and I repeat. Poverty is not the absence of natural resources, financial resources, or human resources. It is the absence of leadership. I'll begin by saying that when greed, tribalism, 2, ethnocracy, 3, and nepotism 4 encapsulate a group of people, no matter how rich they may be, they will never see the future.
Are you seeing the future?
Africans that have had the heart to push the continent Africa to another dimension have been destroyed by Africans.
Africans destroyed Africans. Did you hear that? Africans, black people destroyed themselves. When I said, where is thy love? Does your leaders, do they love you? As black Africans, I started this podcast. You see, when God pressed it that I should start with love for the black people. Do they love themselves? Please go back. That was my very first podcast. And God pressed it onto me that subsequent shows that will come forth from me will be based on my very first podcast, Love. Let's listen to Apostle. Go ahead.
Most of the fathers of independence had their nations at heart.
Yes.
And if they were given the opportunity to execute what they intended to do, it would have been very possible for Africa to have emerged ere long. I will give you a few analyses that will shock you.
Go on.
A country like Togo got independence from France.
Yes.
Leadership Sylvanus Olympio.
Listen.
Olympio did not want the France CFA. Olympio created the Togo currency. But a man called Iyadema Nasingbe was used to eliminate, that is a Togolese, used to eliminate a Togolese that has Togo at heart.
You see?
Iyadema Nasingbe killed Sylvanus Olympio.
Can you hear that?
Go down to Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso.
There is this guy called Maurice Yamiyogo. He was the one that gave them independence. He was annihilated. The person that came later after him, Thomas Sankara, in 1987,
was killed.
He was still eliminated by Blaise Compaoré.
Yes.
You come to Central African Republic, there's David Dacko. David Dacko was to change the nation in another dimension, but a man called Bokasawa used to eliminate him. You go down to Congo Brazzaville, there's this guy called Maron Ngwabi. Ngwabi also was eliminated through a coup d'etat. Now, if you go down to Guinea Equatorial here, there was this guy called Masias Ngema.
Just listen attentively. I want to pull something out of this.
You go down to Ghana. Osage from Kwame Nkrumah had a good intention for the nation. It was Kotoko, his own clan neighbor, that eliminated him. You go to Nigeria, the guys of Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were eliminated by people close to them. Now, if you put it in a nutshell, you go to Mozambique, Samora Moise Machel, it was his close partner that eliminated him. The West, and I repeat, will never and ever have access to Africa.
Did you hear that?
Until they use Africans.
Did you hear that? The Western world will never have access to Africa unless they use Africans. Now, when I said to you, the white man is not your headache, the white man is not your problem. And I hate to see all those people that continue to blame the British government for their war. The British government never handed Nigeria over to the Fulanis. They probably gave them greater autonomy because you know why? The British saw hatred in southern Nigeria. The same hatred the British saw during slavery. They came. Black people such as Madam Tinubu benefited, like I always say, from slavery. The white man never came from their own territory to just invade. and then pack black people. They paid some of your leaders at the time, and they make good money out of selling their own people to the white race. It is the same. The white man can never act alone, because the white man knows that the black race will kill and they will do anything for money. And that was why I said to you, your leaders at the bane of your own problem. Black leaders at the problems of the black people, because in a situation whereby you've got a leader such as General Yakubu Gowon, as at that time, whom suddenly was catapulted to be head of state, and subsequently fought the Nigerian Civil War. No money was borrowed. After the Civil War, then oil money started rolling in. Then Gowon said money was not the problem of Nigeria, but how to spend it. But they refused education. Visionary leader, the late sage, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, who assisted him, begged Gowon to please educate the Nigerian children. Education, education, education. Now he will never get the credit if Gowon can sum up the political courage to educate all Nigerian children, that he will get the credit. What happened? I don't care. They are not my children. They are Alamanjiris. They are hopeless children. See, the white people will never act alone. The Yorubas will say, Bikule okpani tode olepani. The death that will kill you is right inside your house, in your own house, in your home, and that one outside can never break in. It is that one inside that will invite that one from outside to come inside. I don't care what anybody wants to say. I don't want crowd. But truth has to be told. Blacks are their own problem. You remember when I staged a show on black, black legs, black on black. Let me show you this. That's why it is very, very bloody here, guys. Let's see this. See? Now you are beginning to see Igbo people, the three groups vying for Nigeria's soul, the agitators. See, the Igbos. They provided the Fulanis, Nnamdi Kanu. And the Fulanis thought it would be easy for the Yorubas to provide Sunday Igbo for them. It's not possible. Yeah, guys, continue to leave all your comments. Leave all your comments. Now, let me buttress this argument a little bit. Look at this. Remember, we have a lot to talk about. Now, look at this man. Seyi Makinde, Oyo State Governor. To navigate each and every one of you through your own problem, that you are the root cause of your own problem, because black people are probably the worst and the cursed race on the surface of the planet. Please don't correct me. I don't want anybody to correct me, because I'm going to buttress my argument with loads of facts Sheyi Makinde was elected. Yes, Sylvanos, I can spot you from the other side. Sheyi Makinde. Okay, what has Sheyi Makinde done? I touched on this the last time, and I'm going to go there now again. What I've done basically, I'll show you here. See, rather than having to go through all my system, now I came up with this idea, and I said that's my handwriting. By the way, a very rough sketch. Sheyi Makinde's 2021 Ileya saga. You see, you've got some highlights: green, orange, yellow, pink, and then blue. Okay, I'm gonna take you through this, and obviously you can see Sheyi Makinde's picture left so that he knows we're talking about him. Now, I made it known that Sheyi Makinde disbursed 10 million naira for each local government in Oyo State for Ileya Festival, this celebration. Now, Oyo State has got, see, the 10 million is in green. Oyo State has got 33 local government, and that's in blue. You can see the 33. So what I have done in this case is that I then multiplied the 33 local government by the 10 million naira each for each local government in Oyo State, and that gave us 330 million naira just to be spent on Ileya alone within 24 hours. Perhaps to be given as money for influential people in the state to buy ram that they will kill, and then within the next 10 hours the ram is flushed down the toilet, the sock away, it becomes feces. So 330 million naira converted yesterday into pound sterling in yellow, and then to the left in pink US dollars, and then to the right in euro. So, but what I'm particular about and what I want to showcase is the British pound sterling, because I am based and I'm resident in the United Kingdom. So I am particularly interested in the sterling equivalent of the 330 million naira, and that gave us, through the normal exchange rate online from Google, 581,638 pounds, and in dollars 800,942 dollars, $800,942, and then in euro to the right in blue 678,368 euro. Okay, now I'm going to hold it there because I'm going to come back into that, but I want you to look into that figure in sterling: 581,638 pounds sterling, English pounds sterling. Watch that. What I'm going to do here is this, because I'm still coming back to that. Now, look at these people. Look at these people. See, these are the homeless in the United Kingdom. These are the homeless in London. This man is homeless. He's a homeless man begging on the street. Okay, let's go into another one. I've got a couple of them for you. See, here is another homeless man. In fact, many of you who are in London, such as Adetong Ewetuga, JP, You know this place very well, because I know this place very well. This is London Bridge, coming all the way from either Bishopsgate or from Moorgate, and then heading towards south. London Bridge itself. London Bridge, the moment you descend the bridge, you enter London Bridge station, and that brown building is number 1 London Bridge. That's another homeless man in the rain in London with his dog. I'm still coming back to that. Now, look at this. This one. Now, this one. In fact, before I go into that, look at this. Now, look. Because of the homelessness, Her Majesty's government is trying to tackle the homelessness not only in London, but across the nooks and crannies of the United Kingdom. It is a problem. Look, I'm not going to shy myself away. I was in that shoe too when I lost everything, when Goodluck Ebele Jonathan collapsed everything and my marriage collapsed. I had to move out. I was homeless. But thank God, I got myself back up within 2 years. What you are looking at here is a pod. This is called pod. And what the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has done was to actually construct this pod, 200 of this pod across London, to shelter those that are homeless. And I tell you what, yesterday, because I was a victim of this same thing, so anytime I see somebody who is homeless on the street, my heart bleeds, because I was in that circumstances. But my own circumstances was a little bit upper, because I had just one friend that said, no, I will never go down the drain because of this. And he stood, my childhood friend. Sadiq Khan is a Muslim, the current mayor of London. He's constructed 200 of this pod across London and other counties. Leeds, Gloucestershire, Birmingham, Stoke-on-Trent, Coventry. They are equally constructing similar pod in their own territory to accommodate homeless people. Now, you can see. Let me show you one more picture. Now, no, I think I have a couple of them actually that I'm going to show you. Now, look at this. This is how the pod look like, so that those people sleeping rough, will have a warm place. And guess how much this will cost them? Rather than sleeping rough on the street, this will cost them £5 a week. Yesterday, I met a homeless woman right by my Sainsbury's local, just as I went up to pick up some of my vegetables, who was homeless. She's never had a bath, and she was begging me for money, for food and everything. She begged me and she said she wanted to pay £5 for that. And then subsequently, she's never had her bath in the last 5 days. I dipped my hand into my pocket and I gave her 10 quid, £10. And she prayed for me that God blessed me. That's all I wanted. Mayor Sadiq Khan. You see, at least here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. 5 pounds a week. Here is, have a look at this. See? See? Here is another of the pod. You see? That's another one. Under Her Majesty's government. Because Her Majesty's government is worried about those sleeping rough. Circumstances can change anybody's conditions in the Western world anytime. Now, look at this. These are the pod. See? They've got their own numbers. See? They've got their own numbers. Number 27. So they know who is sleeping in a particular pod. And here, look at this. This was the actual construction of some other pods in other counties in England. You can see that. And here, look at this. Here, you have this man, a vet doctor who goes round to check the welfare and the health conditions of their pets. Because many of these people, they've got their own pets. And that doctor is not paid. That was his voluntary work. Any of those pets that needed medical attention is taken to the surgery and then taken care of. God bless Her Majesty. Look at this. Not only that. See? No discrimination. Here's a black man with his own dog too, being attended to by the same vet doctor. And then to combat the problem, to really tackle the problem of homelessness in the United Kingdom. This was the vision an architect came up with. And the sort of accommodation they can build around the country to accommodate homeless people. Homeless people. And guess how much? Okay. These pods, you see all these pods that you are looking at here. Let me go back into the pod for you. You see these pods. You see here. Such as this ones. Let me take this. You see, I told you they're £5 a week that those homeless people will pay. How much does it cost the government? So they can. More like the governor. Look at that. The pod, the 200 pod, if you look underneath, in London, government want to build 200 pods across the capital to shelter homeless people at a cost of, guess how much? £47,000. £47,000. So now let's look at the unit, the cost per each unit. If we divide 47 by 200. So each unit, when £47,000 is divided by 200, each port will cost Sadiq Khan, who is more like the governor of London, more like your man, Seyi Makinde, it will cost London, it will cost the city town hall £235 for each port. Each of those ports. That's how much it will cost them. Now, Seyi Makinde spent 330 million naira on Ileya meat that will be shipped down the latrine and into the soakaway in less than 10 hours, which is the equivalent of 581,638 pounds. Now, let's take away the 47,000 pounds that Sadiq Khan is going to spend to build 200 of those pods. Let's take that 47,000 pounds out of the 581,638 pounds. You see, on the right, you can see that on your right in yellow, 581,638 minus 47,000. You see, if this was London, the county hall under Sadiq Khan will still have to play about with 554,638 pounds. Guys, what's your problem? Is the white man your problem? I'm asking. Is the white man your problem? The white man is not your problem. White man is not your problem. You are your own problem. See that? You see that? We are not there yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Now, let's go back, because the Yorubas will say Ishiro Lokodido. And do you honestly think Seyi Makinde was looking far ahead into Ishiro Lokodido here in this case? Are you now telling me that they don't have homeless people? That person calling me should not call, please, on that line. Are you telling me that you don't have homeless people? Now, considering the amount, the obscene amount of money involved here, £581,000 after conversion. £581,000 after conversion. Haven't they got something useful? Maybe if that if that money, that's huge sums of money, was spent even on building hospital, a general hospital, or revamping the decapitated, one of the decapitated of all the, if they've got, say, general hospital in literally all the local government, that 10 million naira, can't Seyi Makinde supervise that money himself, the 10 million naira? Because if I were him, that was exactly what I'll do. I'll supervise the revamp of all the general hospitals and health centers across the nooks and crannies of Oyo State myself, and make sure that the right contractors were awarded, and then a work plan of how and when the revamp will be completed in no time. Bearing in mind, the black people are even, they are useless anyway, calling the white as experts, and they will deliver the job clean. I'm still going back. You remember the Dubai experiment I came up with? Not many people were here on the platform when I showcased the Dubai experiment. Let me remind you, the Dubai experiment. Let's see this. Look at this. Look at that.
If you're comparing with Nigeria, listen to this. Nigeria has oil before than Dubai. It's a history. They are more rich than us. They have agriculture, they have mining, they have everything, you name it, they have it. Am I right or wrong? When you have a true leadership, which we have nothing, but we have everything because we have the right leadership. That's the only thing you need, a right leader for your country, not corruption.
The right leader, not corruption. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's why it is not easy on the bleeding edge. It is not easy. See, I want to take you through this. This is the Dubai experiment. See, I showcased this before. You are looking at Dubai in 1990. That was how Dubai was. Top left in red frame in 1990. In 2012, that same place. Look at what the Arabs turned that into on the right in blue frame in 2012. Some of you that followed Asari Dokubo very well, Asari Dokubo even said it that when he flew over Dubai, I think he was going somewhere in the Far East. He said it was a desert. Nothing exists in 1990. Look at in 2012. Just in 22 years, look at what the money they realized and then turned into a fortune was nothing compared to what your hopeless, nasty piece of stinking nation realized. The same Arabs assembled the finest of engineers, technicians, and the very best in the world to help them build their own paradise. And that was what came out of it in 22 years from 1990 to 2012. And then in 2016, look at, and the development is still ongoing. And then look at 2021. United Arab Emirates. The white people, because they were sincere and they were honest people, just like the clip, the video clip you've just watched. Visionary leader, no corruption. They turned the desert into a paradise. And now look at Dubai, United Arab Emirates, was nothing near Nigeria as at that time. Let me show you the picture. This was UAE in 1945. I'm not going to leave these motherfuckers alone, because I'm going to be on their neck constantly, and I'll keep bombarding them. I swear. I told you I don't have any problems with Oba or Chief or whatever. My own problem in my life are this motherfuckers. These are my problems. UAE in 1945. Look, UAE in 1945. You want to see how your hopeless nation, that in the same 1945 when Britain were ruling, look at UAE. This was Lagos between 1945 and 1957. Compare and contrast. Oh, in 1945, and Lagos was like this in 1945, heaven's sake, and the British did everything here. Look, UAE. Let's look at that again. UAE, here it is. See? See? 1960. Lagos. Well-paved road. Everything in order. Everything working in order. I'm not stopping there. See, we're going to go through this. Let me take you through this. Yeah. We're still coming back to the Global Terrorism Index. See? This will interest you too. Let me show you this too. This was Beijing in 1955. See? Beijing, 1955. Lagos, 1945. See, the difference is clear between Lagos and Beijing. See, Beijing in 1955. This will interest you. Wallahi. Okay? Beijing in 1955. That was why I put the stamp. Live from Beijing. And that was why I came up with that initially. Question. Let's explore more in details. See? Beijing, 1955. Interesting. Now look at this. The same Beijing in 2021. See? Beijing in 2021. Oh dear God, help us. Beijing, see, in 2021. Different parts of Beijing. Beijing subway, 2021. What is wrong with you? Now, listen to what, hear what this Chinese man said. He said, the only thing the black man has inherited from the Arabs and the European colonization is the religion that he practices, and that's exactly what the colonizers wanted. The Chinese president. Right or wrong? He's right. I'm not going to fault him. And then here. Notice that in black countries, the education is a disaster. The administration is corrupt. Health is deplorable, but religion is doing wonderfully well. Right or wrong? Right. In my opinion. Check this out. Black people rebel against everything except religion. They even think they are more religious than those who brought them these concepts, and that the colonizers are not good Christians. Right? See? Black. Notice that any society that is full with superstitions, religious indoctrination, lack of education, and nationalism is always reading with violence. Aren't we getting that already? Where? We're getting that, and that's why the likes of that man, Malam Aminu Kano, said, Nigeria will know no peace until the son of a nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. Now, you begin to look at things like this. When you see something like this, when Obasanjo, during his own period, that man, during his own period, as military junta, see, you can clearly see him as number 6, who ruled from 1976 to 1979. Spent $61 billion at the time in 1976 to free South Africa and other countries such as Zimbabwe from apartheid. Now, the $61 billion at the time in 1976, when you equate that to today's money, you are probably looking at the region, you're probably looking in the region of about maybe $300 billion in today's money, the value of today's money. And then, when subsequently the same man came to power in 1999, when Babangida brought him back, how OBJ, you can see it in the news, how OBJ ruined the power sector. Another $60 billion went down the drain in 1999. And you honestly think you have good leaders that really love you and who want the best of everything for you as citizens? Stop wasting your time. Just stop wasting your time. See, when you have the likes of these people here, look. When you have the likes of this one, see? This is how they live. See? All your looted money, they buy themselves exotic cars. And then some people will give them ovation, a standing ovation. See? The likes of this, they give them standing ovation. Shithole. Shithole country. Shithole Africans. They give them standing ovation. And then you see them with all those big cars. See? They drive them in this shithole, pot reading hole, smash nonsense road that Rolls-Royce manufacturer will hate to see their cars in a year's time. See, they drive them on this road. That's what they do. See, what's the benefit of acquiring all those exotic cars? But when they come over here, look at them. Look at them. When they come over to the United Kingdom, look, you can see Rocha Sokorocha, you can see all of them. They go on the tube. No security escorts. Can you see them? See their lives. See them Dumbo robbers. See? And then in England and in a civilized world, you see the way pensioners live? This is how pensioners live. See? That's how they live. Because the Queen takes care of them. See? They live this way. But in your shithole country, maybe Baba Basanjo came on air sometime to say, they said Muhammadu Buhari is dead. Maybe Baba Basanjo wants to tell the whole world the differences in these pictures that is being beamed across the whole world, and the different faces of an old, wretched Muhammadu Buhari who looks more like, you know, and then suddenly a younger part of him, a younger version of him, springing up left, right, and center. Maybe Obasanjo will want to explain to Nigerians all these different faces. Maybe he wants to explain to Nigerians all these faces. Which ones? Which one are we going to believe is Muhammadu Buhari? And Muhammadu Buhari is still alive. Maybe OBJ will want to, maybe he wants to see this. See, when they continue to deceive you, and guess what? They're not really bothered about you. Because look at displaced people 60-old bloody years after independence. See? Look at them. 60 years. 60 years after independence. Look. 60 years after independence. $60 years. But Sheikh Makinde can spend 330 million naira. And here, look. Look at that. Is this not shameful? See, as opposed to the Dubai experiment, I compared your own case too. Abuja in 1990, Abuja in 2012, Abuja in 2016, and Abuja in 2021. Same way I did that for the UAE. And you can clearly see the difference between Abuja and Dubai. See that? 2012, as they were building mega structures in the UAE, in Dubai, bombs were being detonated left, right, and center. See? Is this not hopeless? Is this not madness? I'm only asking. Guys, I'm only asking. That's why they are not comfortable. That's why you see them. They're not comfortable. The powers that be are not comfortable. They're not. They're not comfortable. See, I know many of you, you were actually, I knew you won't call. Yeah. I know you've got loads of comments. Let me take it from the bottom. Bibire Olori Yawo Peter. Yes, let me post it. To all of you wishing Sunday Igboho whatever you wished yourself, I say thank you. If your wish is contrary, may Nigeria happen to you. Amen. Your family and your generation. Amen. Sunday Igboho was never captured, actually. I gathered on the show, some people said he's already in Germany. Esther, Ewetuga, Esther Adeton, Ewetuga JP. He said, the white people, they have love. Thank you. James Coker, he said Nigeria have cows in the streets with their husbands. Folake Alawiye said, God bless the queen. God bless her. See. Are you now, see, Folake Alawiye, Nigeria's problem, they continue to blame the white man. Is it the white man that should take the blame? Let's go back into this. Let's go back into this video.
So, this is my quote, and I repeat. Poverty is not the absence of natural resources, financial resources, or human resources. It is the absence of leadership. I'll begin by saying that when greed, tribalism, ethnocracy, and nepotism encapsulate a group of people, no matter how rich they may be, they will never see the future. Africans that have had the heart to push the continent Africa to another dimension have been destroyed by Africans. Most of the fathers of independence had their nations at heart. And if they were given the opportunity to execute what they intended to do, it would have been very possible for Africa to have emerged ere long. I will give you a few analyses that will shock you. A country like Togo got independence from France under the leadership of Sylvanus Olympio. Olympio did not want the France CFA. Olympio created the Togo currency. But a man called Iyadema Nasingbe was used to eliminate, that is a Togolese, used to eliminate a Togolese that has Togo at heart.
Just listen very carefully.
Iyadema Nasingbe killed Sylvanus Olympio. You go down to Burkina Faso, there is this guy called Maurice Yamiyogo. He was the one that gave them independence. He was annihilated. The person that came later after him, Thomas Sankara, in 1987, he was still eliminated by Blaise Compaoré.
Yeah.
You come to Central African Republic, there's David Dacko. David Dacko was to change the nation in another dimension, but a man called Bukasawa used to eliminate him.
Just listen.
You go down to Congo Brazzaville, there's this guy called Maron Ngwabi. Ngwabi also was eliminated through a coup d'etat. Now, if you go down to Guinea Equatorial, there was this guy called Masias Ngema. It was his own cousin, Obiangema Basoko, that was used to eliminate him. You go down to Ghana, Osage from Kwame Nkrumah had a good intention for the nation. It was Kotoko, his own clan neighbor, that eliminated him. You go to Nigeria, the guys of Nnamdi Azikiwe, they were eliminated by people close to them. Now, if you put it in a nutshell, you go to Mozambique, Samora Moise Machel, it was his close partner that eliminated him. The West, and I repeat, will never and ever have access to Africa until they use Africa.
You hear that?
That's why I say what is eating the bean seed is within the bean seed. Africans are full with greed, full with ethnocracy, tribalism, and nepotism. And if nothing is done, we will keep on killing our best every year. As I talk to you recently, I will guarantee you all shorty that this guy Magufuli has convinced us against once more that Africa does not need any support out of the country. Lazarus Chakwera, in his 8-minute speech commemorating the death of Magufuli, he said, the unpredictable Magufuli. They did not know that leadership could run in Africa without money being borrowed from International Monetary Fund, because they did not know Magufuli was coming. They did not know that projects could be set up and executed on time, because they did not know Magufuli was coming.
Yeah.
They did not know that somebody could not pay attention to International Assembly, the General Assembly of the United Nations. They didn't know Magufuli was coming.
Yeah.
African presidents have given us the impression that you must borrow to succeed.
Yeah.
Before Magufuli came to power, most of the mines in Tanzania were privatized. But what he did was that he came back and then sanctioned the foreign companies that were mining in Tanzania until 16% of those particular mines were given back as ownership back to Tanzania. A scenario occurred in Zambia. Zambia is the best producer of copper. You have the copper belt in Zambia. Zambia sold that copper belt to an American firm up front without payment.
Without payment. You see that?
That they will exploit the copper and pay them later. American firm came, took that particular copper belt, turned it within 2 years and paid the money up front. And is giving Zambia a 0.00 something % as royalty for their mines.
Somebody got paid.
It is talking about stupidity and poor management. Who brought gun to give that copper belt to America? Nobody brought gun. When last did you see Europeans using prestation, assimilation, or indirect in Africa?
Did you hear that?
Let us consider the fact that they are taking a greater chunk of our resources. The balance we have here is very possible for us to manage those things. How can a man come in 5 years' time without borrowing a dime from International Monetary Fund, a dime from the World Bank? He was able to restore 6 aircrafts into the Tanzania airline.
Correct.
He was able to build bridges, build railway, restore back the Julius Nyerere hydroelectricity project that could give Tanzania 99% guarantee of electricity throughout the year without borrowing a dime.
That is now going to take me through. You see, he was talking about a president not borrowing and then suddenly produced 6 fleets of aircraft into the country's airline. Let us ask ourselves. Let us ask ourselves a very tough, difficult question. What do you think Obasanjo did in 8 years, or the legacy Obasanjo left behind since 1999 to 2007? What legacy? How many of the children in that country, when Obasanjo became president in 1999, that were born, knowing fully well that those children born in 1999, by this time they will be in their 20s? What provisions did Obasanjo's administration provided for those that were in primary school at the time when he became president in 1999? That those people will compete effectively in the world market today. What were his policies on education, on health? Zero. Are you going to tell me it is the white people that were your problem that time in 1999 when Babangida masterminded the return of Obasanjo back to power? The number to call, guys, is there. You can see the number. Yes, you can see it there. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, there. Yeah, you can see it there. 0208 1800433. And if you're ringing from the outside world, from outside the UK, it's +44 208 1800433. You want to contribute or you want to ring in? The line is open. It is voice over internet protocol. You can get in onto the studio when I am live. When I am not live, it will be completely switched off. It is a land phone and it is a voice over internet protocol. Okay, now, guys, what provisions? Obasanjo never had any provisions. None of those Tambo rovers were interested in educating the Nigerian people. Now, let's go into this next video. The same man, but a different video clip. Now, watch this. is coming your way. Okay? Okay, watch that.
Umar Sankara in 1987, he was still eliminated by Blaise Compaoré. You come to Central African Republic, there's David Dako. David Dako was to change the nation.
This is not the one. Let me look for that one. The video clip I want. The same man, but on a different show and interview. I think that's the one. Now, before I go further, somebody actually minuted Cal. Now, watch this. Let me first of all see if it is if the clip is
important to not be the cow.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it. Yeah, I'm going to stop that clip. Okay, and I'm going to play it back again for you. Watch this clip. And somebody was talking about cow colony. Now you know that Nigeria is a cow colony in 2021. Watch this.
Important to not be the cow.
Look at cow.
Still selling money. Thank God.
Cow smashing straight into the front screen of a car in Nigeria, in location 9.
This is East West Road. East West Road happening right now at East West Road New Airport, Port Harcourt. An incident occurred correctly about 6:30 a.m. this morning. A car and a vehicle, a taxi driver, heading to Airport Road. This is East West Road. As you can see, the car hit the vehicle, but fortunately for all, the driver survived. As you can see, thank you. Reporting from Port Harcourt. Lucky.
Only in Nigeria. Only in Nigeria. Yes, you heard. Only in Nigeria. Now, this particular one, this one, I really want to talk about this particular one, and I think it's very, very important. Northern balance of powers, of 4 years of power. Watch this, because it's been on the horizon for a while. Watch that.
We present a candidate that will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation. But we are not asking for, like you call it, third time. No, we are not asking for third time. Nobody asks for third time. We will never ask for third time.
They are not asking for third term, but the balance of power. Maybe I am mistaken here, guys. The balance of power. What kind of balance of power? Now, what you are looking in front of your screen right now is how the North, they've held on to power from 1960 to date. And then consider the number of years from independence. We've got Balewa from 1959 to 1966. This was followed by a short period of about 7 months with Aguiyi Nrunsi. Then a northerner, Middle Belt, who consider themselves as northerners, Gowon then took power from 1966 to 1975. This was then followed by Mohammed for another 6 months, and then Obasanjo for about 2 years. Then Shagari, I'll probably say, 5 years, or 4 years and some few months. This was then followed by Muhammadu Buhari, Babangida, Sani Abacha, Abdusalam Abubakar, and now Muhammadu Buhari. If we calculate the total number of years the North have held on to power as opposed to the South, you'll find out that the North, since independence, they've been in power for more than 40 years. So where does this scumbag now thought that the balance of power, that the North has been shortchanged with 4 years? You see, let's listen to this guy, and I'll tell you exactly what was really going on.
Democratic, we believe in democracy, and we are practicing democracy. That was why we said politics is a game of number, and we know we have the numbers.
Okay, they know they have the numbers. Okay, now Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Baba OBJ, and all of you, how market now? Oi. All of you that masterminded and probably said to me, oh, Frank Bello, you are the worst of anything that can happen to Nigeria. You're now saying. In 2019, I begged all of you to please not bring back Muhammadu Buhari. That the worst of anything that can happen to you guys will be unleashed. But none of you believed me. See, they are now playing you with numbers. The numbers they hope to play you with. Let me show you those numbers. You don't know those numbers. I'll show you those numbers that they are going to play you with. The numbers they will play you with, they're here. They are here. They are these ones. Look, these are the numbers they are referring to. Those are the numbers. These are the numbers they're referring to. These are the numbers they're referring to. Yeah. Those are the numbers. See? They are referring to this, that, and that. How market? How market? You hear that? You see that? My friend is watching. I'm dealing. See? See that? Ah, dear God. I'm really sick and tired of having to go through the same thing. See? Black on black. Black are the worst of their own enemies. Watch this. This will tell you exactly the damage the black people are doing to themselves. Watch this clip. Watch that. See? Chinese. China. See,
aqui tem a melhor precisão. Pra pegar aqui nos 70. Pode arrumar no chão aí que não quebra não. Pega o bloco da concorrente e joga no chão pra você ver.
Look at that. Look at that. See? Black people. See that? You see that? Look at that. Black people have market. See? Was that a white man selling bricks that is not worth for construction? See? Any problem going to do? And you do any problem? The same problem you've got is still persistent today, still hovering over each and every black race on the surface of the planet, minus the Caribbeans. They've got a little bit of it as well, but some of them are even far more westernized than a lot that are in Africa. And in Britain, if there's a high profile job going, and if the last come to the last, that the position is to be filled either by a Jamaican, somebody from the Caribbean, a Caribbean descendant, or an African descendant, both blacks, the whites, they will rather give that job to the Caribbean than to give it to the African. Yeah. That's because of what we've just watched. You are your own worst enemy. The white man is not your problem. Many of you blaming the white man, Britain, for your predicaments. They are not your problem. Now, they said Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, had that his mouth was swollen, and that any babalawo that attend to him, irumale loma kpaini no. But unfortunately, I think I managed to get hold of this picture. Yeah, I'm going to play you the tape. What I'm going to do is rotate the clip by about I need to do this. Sorry about that, guys. I need to I need to transform it, rotate it by I think it is that. Yes, that's better. And hang on. Okay. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to roll this for you. Watch it. Okay. Oh no. It is not that. It is not that. It is not that. Okay, it is this one. Watch this. Yes, it is this one. That was the Commissioner of Police, Odumusu. The claim was all over the places that Owo Etiwu, Ete Etiwu, Ahon Etiwu, Polisoro. See, the white man is not the problem of the black race. The blacks are their own worst enemies. They are their own problem. They are the root cause of their own problem. See, this one baffled me a lot. This particular one really baffled me. Let me see if I can get it in. I might have to rotate this once again. Transform, and it should be this way. Yeah, it should be this way. Sorry guys. Now when you see something like this, it is particularly annoying, and I tend to watch this guys. Yeah, let me bring it back in for you. Yeah, let me bring it back. See? That's US dollars. In a country that cannot boast of good quality health care, no road, not education, decapitated. What's the difference between that lady and Sheyi Makinde spending 330 million naira for Ileya alone? Let me take it from the bottom. Elisha Oyedele, I'm seeing you for the first time. Maybe you've been a silent person. You've been silent. You said, we need more viewers for this kind of knowledge. No. See, people will never come where knowledge is. That's the worst part of it. See, the same white man that knows everything about the black race said the best way to keep knowledge away from the black race is to document everything, because the black man will never find it. That's why you see people, they go to places where they talk about Oko and Obo and nonsense. But where the real knowledge is, and the knowledge that will empower them, they won't come there. It is too much for them. Some of them are not really comfortable with what will come out. But that is the truth, the gospel truth. See, the path to heaven, the gateway to heaven is so narrow like this that it will never fit two people at the same time. But the gateway to hellfire is like that. See? Like this. See? When you look at that, it can fit in 10 million people at the same time. So there's a clear distinction between salvation and hell. That's what you are seeing here. When Jesus Christ came through this plane of existence, many people never respected him or knew exactly that he was the Son of God that came through the surface of this planet. They disrespected him. They killed him eventually. Steve Osage, Gani Ojofolarin. Yeah, but Olumoroti, Yoruba self-determination must prevail. You came a little bit late. came a little bit late. Yes, guys, okay. For today's show, the time in London is exactly 1900, which is 7 o'clock London time. Today, Salah Day, Ileya Day, the 20th day of the 7th month of July 2021. Good evening, John Mark. I'm just closing the stream. It's been a pleasure having you guys around. I've posted the number. I'll be sticking the number there from time to time so that you guys can ring in at any time. Look, it's been a wonderful time and a pleasure to stream live to you. Let me leave many of you. Oluwafemilayo Yetunde show me. Good evening. Jocelyn Noah. Good evening. Yeah. I'm just seeing you guys. Ade Cripsy. Thank you. Yeah, I know you are one of my biggest critics. That's fine. I have no problems with that. Emmanuel Evans, China Zone, good evening. Yes, I'm closing the stream now. I've been on the last 2 hours and 9 minutes. Truth hurts. And I tried as much as possible to make sure that at least truth always prevails. Guys, I wish you well. Yes, there's a lot more we're going to discuss. Episode 83 is coming up. If we can stream that tomorrow, there's loads of things, a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. But don't forget, I did warn everyone December last year that the Yoruba agitation, the way the campaign was going, it's looking very unlikely. See, I was talking to some people, but now those people in a particular group, I was advising them the caliber of the people that we should be associated with. At the Cripsy. You said I really respect you, sir, but sometimes too, yes, those critical moments when I am very critical, very, very critical, and because of that, it is the truth, and it's up to everybody to just grab it. And many of the things that I've been saying, it's now coming to pass. That's the beauty of it. The way I see the problems coming for Sunday Igboho, and I've been coming up to warn him. The very first one, when the Fulani government were at the point of throwing 10 kilos, huge cocaine through his fence onto his yard. And then, as at that time, they were actually ready to arrest him. And at that time, they've prepared their warrant of arrest and a search warrant of the premises. I came online and I've streamed a show. I aborted that. And that's how they do it. See, when I was advising some of those that were in the agitation, and the same group I advised, and I said to them, you need to be here, you need to be there. I advised them they should do certain things, but they never listened. And now the same group now came back to me. And I was completely sick. And that's why I said I'm not part of those who call themselves agitators or media agitators, Yoruba media agitators. I don't belong to them. I don't want to be part and parcel of them, because they are all, don't let me use the word, don't let me describe them. In Kotonika Lukumomaje Onowa. And when you put money before the Yoruba stuff, that is dangerous. One thing I gave credit to Sunday Igboho for was that he never put money inside the agitation. He was spending his own money. Fine. I've got somebody criticized me on my show that the money I wasted from 1999 right up till the moment Goodluck Ebele Jonathan killed my publication, that should have gone far by now. Somebody had the audacity to come on my show and then said it was a wasted venture, and that Sunday Igboho that made money through politics is now reinvesting the same money he made through politics back into the Yoruba agitation. That is the mentality of the black race for you. I mean well for him. But left to me, and the advice I gave him was, he should have concentrated more on fighting the Fulanis to get out of Yoruba land, rather than joining the agitation. They probably wouldn't have done anything to him if Igboho continued the way he fought them in Ibarakba and concentrate more on that, but not coming straight into the agitation. Perhaps they would have left him alone and distance himself from the agitation, but continue fighting the Fulanis. They won't be bothered, because he perhaps would have had a very good evidence to fight the Fulanis that they were killing his own people. That was a clear ground. If I were him, that should have been what I should have done, knowing fully well that he was too close to the politicians. And I warned people as well when Femi Fani-Kayode paid him a visit. I said, sure, Femi Fani-Kayode is not in Sunday Igboho's house for the sake of paying him homage. No, sir. Femi Fani-Kayode is one of them. They've sent him. Femi Fani-Kayode is, you may see Femi Fani-Kayode criticizing Muhammadu Buhari, but let me tell you, he's only criticizing them. He's one of them. Most of Femi Fani-Kayode's friends are in Buhari's government. Steve Osagie, you said you have been on and off the show for a while. now due to your work schedule. But you said, I remembered you warned a couple of weeks ago that MNK and Sunday Igbo are in trouble, and the Fulani want to kill them. You even went as far as advising what they should do. Thank you. What they should do immediately. He said, kudos to you, sir. Your intelligence is unquestionable. And Elisha Oyedele, you said true. I said it recently. People will never come here. And then some people will have, some people they've got the audacity to say, oh, that Frank Bello is the man destroying this agitation. I'm not destroying any agitation. I'm probably far more Yoruba, uncontaminated, undiluted, pure breed conservative Yoruba man. I'm a conservative. I'm an English conservative, and I'm a Yoruba conservative. As an Englishman, as a British, I don't want anybody to penetrate straight into the UK anyhow. And when Tony Blair was thinking about taking us into the into Euro, I fought Tony Blair that I don't believe in the Euro. Don't replace the head of the Queen of Her Majesty with a nonsense European currency for us in the UK. So also is Yoruba. There was a time I used to think, oh, maybe when 1999 came and Ibrahim Babangida made the mistake, because the biggest mistake Babangida made in 1999 was to bring back Obasanjo. The northerners, the emirs in the north, for you guys who don't know, they want Ibrahim Babangida as to whether he truly knows Olu. They call Obasanjo Olu. The emirs in the north said, you only know him as a boss and a subordinate. But they that knew him, the late Malam Adamu Chiroma was the one that called IBB, for your information. The former CBN governor, the late one, Adamu Chiroma, who later became the head of the Arewa Consultative Forum, the leader. Whatever Adamu Chiroma decides in conjunction with the Sultan of Sokoto is the end. They called IBB. That does he really know exactly what he was doing for bringing back Olu back into government? Many people don't know. There are so many secrets that you guys don't know. See, all the people, I looked at those people who call themselves agitators. They've formed an association. But none of those people, they don't have a clue of how everything works. And I can't be associated with such people. And I won't be associated with them. I'd rather do it alone. And by the way, my star does not even warrant me, or my spirit does not warrant me working with people who are not really truthful. Many of them are not truthful. They are false. Let's bring this stream to an end. Tomorrow, hopefully, is another day. I'm going to crack open your ribs again. I hope to be coming very, very regularly these days. See, it is now quiet. See, the agitation, they've thrown the agitation into turmoil. This was not, like I always say to you guys, this was not the way we planned it. This was not the way to fight a government of the day. You fight with your intellectual might, intellectual capability, that the government of the day will be hands down when you fight with your intellectual might and capability, and they will have no options to sit round the table with your think tank and then begin to negotiate. I strongly believe that negotiation through dialogue works. And that's why there's a diplomatic ways of doing things. Let's bring this stream to an end. We're going to do it again. Watch out. Look, guys, if you're watching it from HALLO Magazine or from Liberty Media Communications, click like and follow in. If you're watching it from YouTube, you can equally click the like button and then follow in. If you're watching the stream from my Twitter feed, click following. From LinkedIn, same thing. Let's bring the stream to an end, and I'm going to crack open your ribs again, hopefully tomorrow, if tomorrow permits me. I've got loads of materials to show you. Thank you guys for coming in to watch the stream. It's been my pleasure. Now, have a good time. Enjoy the rest of the Salah day. And for my Muslim friends, I hope to see you one of these days, and I'll collect my Ileyan meat from you. Thank you. God bless you, and have a great evening. Goodbye.